Hello, and here we are for what will be our first challenge on this F1 2018 mod by Chris Dix for the F1 2017 game. And I'm going to try to simulate what Max Verstappen did in the Bahrain Grand Prix, and probably hopefully better it, because of course he retired during the race. So yeah, we're going to start at the back of the grid, and we're going to see how far up we can get. So there's going to be one shot qualifying, and of course we're going to crash out during it like Max Verstappen did in the actual qualifying. It's going to be 100 AI, and we're going to have a 25% race distance. So yeah, should be interesting. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into qualifying. So yeah, sure enough, we're just going to crash in qualifying, and that will be us starting at the back. And yeah, see what we can do from here. So here we are now for the race. We're going to start on actually the softs, and we're going to go on to the super softs. So hopefully we'll be fast towards the end. Starting right at the back, and you can see I've also got the arcade mods by Alex35Zombie in the top left, so you can see all the positions. It's not quite as good as the actual F1 2018 display, but it looks really good. And here we are now up the inside of quite a few cars. We're not going to get too many positions, because you can probably get about 11 positions off the start, but you may as well make this quite a challenge. And we have actually still managed to get about 8 positions off the start. You can see now we're in 12, right behind Ocon and Magnussen. We're going to go up the inside of these two, up into 10th. We're going to actually squeeze ourselves up the inside of Hulkenberg, and here we are now side by side with him. Quite a cheeky move, and he's actually going to hold it around the outside as we get caught up on the curb. And yeah, we're just going to have to concede the position. But again, we're just going to throw it right up the inside, so out of nowhere, just going to poke another nose into being cheeky once again. You can see we're losing quite a lot of time to Alonso. We're going to try to hold it around the outside, so we're going to try to get the straight line speed around. We're going to have to rang it around the outside of this corner, which isn't easy to do. Pinch him narrow, we're going to get the traction. But of course we're on the softs, he's on the super softs, so you can just see Alonso disappearing in the distance, and we managed to get it around the outside of Hulkenberg. So yeah, that was quite a good move. You can see now this is the start on board with Romain Grosjean. You can see that's Hulkenberg behind, and he tries to make a move on Ricciardo, and you can see that's Gasly up his inside. So much like in the actual Bahrain Grand Prix, Gasly doing really well, and he's straight away trying to get a position on Grosjean. But here comes Grosjean around the outside. He's going to probably get the better straight line speed. Of course, the Honda engine still probably not as good as the Ferrari engine. And we skip on, actually this is a bit later, so lap 2. So you can see, yeah, Gasly already beginning to pull back. This is now Alonso, and you can see we've actually caught up to him. So here comes Alonso up his inside. Gasly's going to try to hold it around the outside, but it's really hard to get the traction there. We're going to try to do a cutback now. We're going to get a good run. We're going to get around the outside of Gasly, and now we're going to be right in the back of Alonso. And you can see now this is actually Hulkenberg who's going to get Gasly as well. So Gasly is going to lose 3 positions in the matter of 2 corners if he's not careful. We actually don't manage to get Alonso, but this is Hulkenberg now. He's managed to get Gasly, but Gasly's going to hold it around the outside. He's going to see if he can hold on to the position. Of course, losing 3 positions in 2 corners is never, well, really, it's not really good. But I mean, you can see now Hulkenberg trying to hold it up to the inside, and Gasly's managed to hold it around the outside. So these guys have been going at it for a good few corners, and Gasly trying to squeeze out Hulkenberg. Here goes Hulkenberg around the outside, trying to do a similar move that we did to him on lap 1, but actually Gasly holds on, so very good defending there. Meanwhile, this is a bit further back, and this is Ericsson trying to defend from Van Dorn, and Van Dorn up his inside. Ericsson trying to leave a bit of room, but again he's getting squeezed out, and yeah, Van Dorn's going to have the outside line, but again Ericsson actually managed to hold it really well. And yeah, that's not many times I've seen an AI manage to hold it up the inside of that corner. Meanwhile, here comes, I think, one of the Force Indias. I think it's yeah, of Ocon. Oh, it's Perez, sorry, and he's actually just behind Van Dorn and Ericsson. So Ericsson's actually doing quite well. He's actually fighting with the McLaren and the Force Indias, which is quite good going. But here comes Van Dorn. He's going to try to hold it around the outside, but Ericsson's going to have the inside line. He's going to cover him off, and all the while Perez is waiting. Well, we're actually trying to defend from Alonso's. We're trying to defend from Alonso still. And yeah, we just get on to lap 4. We're actually trying to catch Grosjean now. So yeah, it took us a bit longer to actually catch up to Grosjean on lap 5, and now we're just going to see if we can try to make a move. So we managed to make a move on Alonso a few laps prior, and now we're going to try to do this similar move on Grosjean. We're going to go up the inside. We're going to try to hang it around the outside like we did on Hulkenberg on lap 1. And here we are now trying to squeeze him now. He's going to bang us quite a bit wide. We're going to hold it around the outside, and again just going to manage to hold it, and this time we get the good traction. It's almost an identical move to the one we did in Hulkenberg 4 laps ago. But you can see now this has actually allowed Alonso to get a good run on Grosjean, and Alonso is actually going to be up into 7th. So Alonso making really good progress up the field. Another guy making good progress is Ricciardo, and Vettel just seems to be falling back. As you can see, the leaders long way away, and Ricciardo overtakes Vettel for what will be 4th place as we come into the pits on lap 5. So I was thinking of doing an undercut, because of course it's a 25% race and we can stretch the super softs an awful long way. So I was thinking of doing an undercut onto the super softs. Meanwhile, you can see this is Gasly now being overtaken by Hulkenberg. So Hulkenberg finally be able to get past after Gasly put up that monumental defence, but he's still going to try to hang it around the outside, but this time he's not able to do it. Meanwhile, we're actually in the pits now, which is coming out, and we're going to come out dead last. But what we're hoping to do is to do an undercut, and of course we're on the faster tyres, so we'll be able to hopefully gain quite a lot of time on the cars ahead if we can pull this off. Meanwhile, this is Van Dorn now, the second bite of the cherry, around the outside of Ericsson. So of course Ericsson defended a few laps prior, but this is now Van Dorn around the outside, and it seems like that's the way to go on that corner. He just seems to get much better traction around the outside. Meanwhile, we're going to go around the outside of Sorokin, and you can see Sorokin and Stroll well behind everyone else. Only Magnussen there ahead of, and he retired on lap 4. So yeah, it's not really good showing for the Williams, much like in the real life Grand Prix. Meanwhile, this is Hamilton coming out right ahead of us. This is actually in front of Stroll, so he hasn't been able to undercut Hamilton, but of course he was near the lead. But he's been able to jump Vettel in the pits, so that's good going. So that's already a position gained, and of course a teammate still has to pit. So it'll be interesting to see where we come out in relation to him. And sure enough, here comes our teammate. He's actually right in front of us. So Ricciardo able to pull a massive gap to Vettel, so Vettel must have an issue. But we're going to see if we can get a better run through the corner. You can see just able to take a wider line, and this is going to give us a better run through the whole sequence of corners. And we're going to have to make the move now before our tyres begin to wear out, because of course towards the end of the race Ricciardo's going to have the better tyres than us. But we're going to dive it up the inside, and that's us up into P4 after starting at the back of the grid. And this is Sainz now around the outside of Ocon. So we've seen a lot of people go around the outside of this corner. Can Sainz pull it off? Here he goes, he gets the better traction. Surely he's managed to pull this off. And once again, it seems like the outside line seems to have better traction. And sure enough, Ocon has to slot back into position, even though this is a lap later. And this is now Bottas coming out right behind Hamilton. So yeah, it seems to be a good fight between the top 3. And these are more people in the pits now. So yeah, this is actually just replay, sorry, of lap 7 when everyone went to pits. And this is Gasly now. He gets held in the pits, so after falling back a bit off the start, he's actually had an even worse race. And of course he did really well in the Bahrain Grand Prix in real life, but unfortunately he's just been falling back during this race. His teammate on the other hand is actually gaining positions. This is on Leclerc, just behind these guys, and Hartley's beginning to actually catch up to his teammate. You can see now Leclerc trying to hold it up the inside, but it's quite a hard corner to do so. And he's going to try to come back still at the end of the straight. But of course, we've seen a few people to pull this off, but the Sauber just not yet having the downforce to really match the Toro Rosso. And yeah, Hartley gains the position. This is now Sorokin on Lance Stroll, and of course the Williams boys trying to fight it out for next season in the right at the back of the field. But if they want to stay in F1, they're going to have to prove themselves, and they're going side by side. So both of them pay drivers, so yeah, they got a lot to prove. And yeah, Stroll manages to hold on to position. Meanwhile, this is Bottas now around the outside of Hamilton. So on fresher tyres, he's been able to catch up and now overtake Hamilton. And this is a little ball battling going on. This is now Hulkenberg on Grosjean for what will be about P8, I would imagine. And you can see now Grosjean trying to hold it out the outside of Hulkenberg. Yeah, Hulkenberg actually gets that position. And this is now Sainz and Perez trying to overtake Gasly. So Gasly's losing even more positions, and he's already lost one to Perez. And at the end of the straight, here comes actually Carlos Sainz. And Gasly's going to try to hold it around the outside, but I don't know if he's got a problem, because he just seems to be losing position after position, and this is not good. Maybe it's just the Honda engine, but I mean, his teammates seeming to do all right now. Meanwhile, this is now Alonso trying to go around the outside of Vettel. So Vettel's been yeah, Vettel must have had issues, because I mean, he got overtaken Ricciardo, he's got jumped by ourselves, and now he's actually getting overtaken by the McLaren Renault. And here comes Alonso around the outside of his old championship rival from previous seasons. He's going to hold it around the outside. We've seen this done an awful lot, and Alonso just adds to the tally. He goes around, he's gone out to the outside of Vettel, and he's managed to get the position. So very encouraging stuff to see from Alonso. And this is now Leclerc around the outside of what will be Gasly. Gasly is now falling well down through the field, and apart from the Williams, who are now still scrapping it out, Gasly is right at the back. So it's been quite a fall from grace, considering he's decided the top 6 on lap 1. Meanwhile, here comes Sorokin trying to hold it around the outside of Stroll, and he's actually managed to pull it off this time. But Stroll's still on the outside, and these guys, of course, trying to prove themselves. And Stroll's actually going to try to hold it around the outside. It's going to be quite close going. But here comes Sorokin up the inside, and he's going to try to hold it. Here comes oh yes, here he goes, Stroll around the outside, and yeah, once again, the outside line having better traction. Now we skip on to the final lap on our POV, so not much actually happened. We were just able to put in some really good lap times. We actually locked up into this corner, and this is going to allow Ricciardo, and Ricciardo was slowly catching us. I mean, it looked like we had 4th in the bag, but now Ricciardo is up or inside as we made a mistake. And yes, if we could just hold on to 4th place, that would be great. We'd have to hold it around the outside of this corner though, using a rich mix, which I've had to use sparingly this race, because the 2018 mod, well, we really burns the fuel. Meanwhile, you see Ricciardo's actually managed to get us, but again, we managed to put a nose up his inside. We go side by side through this corner, clipping the apex and leaving him as much room as we can. Even though we squeezed him slightly, again going right to the centre of the track to try to leave him as much room. But here comes Ricciardo again using Rich Mix. We've got a slight bit of fuel to burn as we go into the final corner. He's going to try to hold it around the outside. He probably has got us, but no, we managed to get a good run. And again, we're going to go at Rich Mix to the line, and we managed to just about get him. So yeah, that was a bit of action just towards the end of the race. I mean, we didn't actually have any action at all between 7 and 14, hence why we went on lots of other people's onboards, because that seemed exciting in the midfield. But yeah, you can see there the final standings. And yeah, we're going to head on to the podium display now. You can see Mercedes managing to get a 1-2, which is unlike what they did in the real life, of course. They were actually behind with the Ferraris up until Kimi Räikkönen. Of course, he had a botched pit stop, and one of his mechanics were hurt. But yeah, Mercedes actually seeming to be on the pace in this mod. So when I start my modded career mode in the next few days, it'll be interesting to see how Mercedes and Ferraris fare. Yeah, Force India seemed to be quite true to life, finishing about 11th and 12th. But yeah, there's the podium. You can see Bottas on the top step, managing to beat Hamilton in the end after doing the overcut and having fresher tyres towards the end. And Räikkönen also getting a podium. So yeah, we managed to get 4th from the back of the grid, which is quite good going. And yeah, that's going to be it as far as the race is concerned. So yeah, you just see podium celebrations. So yeah, we're going to head on to the final standings, and it was Bottas from Hamilton, from Räikkönen, from myself, from Ricciardo, from Alonso, from Vettel, from Grosjean, from Hülkenberg, from Van Dorn, from Ocon, from Perez, from Carlos Sainz. Yes, of course, we managed to get driver of the day as well, which is quite good going. Yeah, Alonso had a really good drive himself. So did Van Dorn as well, coming from 16th to finish in the top 10. So the McLaren's doing very well today. Right at the bottom, of course, you got the Williams. You've actually got Ericsson, who actually had to make a few more pit stops, which is a shame because he was doing really well. Leclerc up in 15th, and yeah, that's going to be the final grid order. So see you next time.